Today I'm going to talk about how you can lock money in your bank account so that you can keep it safe from scammers and hackers. In the past week or so, 3 major banks have announced that they are introducing new security features to keep your funds safe, and they are DBS, UOB and OCBC. All 3 banks will allow you to lock up funds such that you can only access them at physical branches, thereby locking out hackers and scammers from digitally transferring your money away. There is, however, a catch, and I'll talk about it in this video. But first, subscribe to my Telegram group so you can get great deals as well as personal finance updates such as savings accounts, credit cards, etc. And almost 13,000 people have joined. DBS is introducing digiVault, where you can actually transfer funds in digitally, but to withdraw funds, you need to be present at a physical branch with your identification documents. The digiVault account is essentially a My account, and here's the catch: the interest rate for this account is as low as 0.05% per annum interest. Until 29th February 2024, however, there will be a bonus 1.8% per annum interest, but that still makes your total interest around 1.85% per annum, which is really low by today's standards, where most bank accounts are giving 3 to even 5% per annum interest. So to lock out your funds with DBS, you need to set up this new digiVault account and then put your funds in there, and it will earn you less than ideal interest rate. And that is the sacrifice you have to make for locking up your funds with DBS. Not only is this 1.8% only until 29th February 2024, it is also only on the first $50,000 of your savings placed in the digiVault account. And I think this is not very good because people who will lock up their funds tend to do so for a long period of time, and also it tends to be their life savings which they don't want to touch. So until 29th February and also only $50,000 and only 1.8% per annum interest, I think this makes it a really raw deal for people who just want added security. So I wouldn't recommend anyone to lock up their funds with DBS because there are better options which we'll explore later in this video. The next is UOB LockAway account, which works similarly to DBS digiVault, which is you start this new account with UOB, you can transfer funds in digitally, but funds can only be withdrawn at a UOB branch. The difference between UOB's LockAway account and DBS digiVault is that LockAway account has better interest rates. Now, UOB says that you'll get up to 5% per annum interest rate on the LockAway account, which sounds fantastic, but in typical UOB fashion, this is given on a tiered basis. On the first $20,000, you get 1% per annum interest, and the next $40,000, you get 2.5% per annum interest. The next $40,000, 3% per annum interest, and the final $25,000, 5% per annum interest. The effective rate of this is 2.92% per annum interest if you have $125,000 of deposit with the LockAway account. Because of the tiered nature of the interest rates, where the top $25,000 gets 5% per annum interest, if you have any amounts less than that, your effective interest rate is just going to be lower. I've written an article on how to calculate the interest rates for such tiered accounts, so check out in the link that I'll put in the description box below. Now, this is also a promotional rate until 31st March 2024, after which it will actually drop, and the effective interest rate on $125,000 of deposit here will be 2.45% per annum interest. Compared to DBS digiVault, I think UOB LockAway account is much better. The interest cap is on $125,000 and you get higher interest rates. However, I still feel that UOB could have done this better, because instead of introducing a new account, why not let us use our UOB One account, which already earns a fantastic interest rate, and then allow us to earmark certain amounts of money that we do not want to touch and can only be accessed at physical branches. In fact, this mechanism is already practiced by UOB when they have all the earmark promos, where your funds are actually taken out from your available balance in exchange for some bonus interest rates. Now, outside of these promotional periods, they should also allow us to earmark amounts that cannot be withdrawn digitally, and thereby we'll have gotten our security that we want and not have to sacrifice our interest rates. Now, this video is brought to you by Tiger Brokers, and they're giving a generous promo where you just need to sign up with my link below and fund any amount to get $120 or $140 of eCapitaVouchers. If you want more rewards, make sure your first deposit is at least US $1,000 and you will get 180 Sing dollars or $190 of eCapitaVouchers. Also, if your first deposit is more than 300 Sing dollars, you can get additional US $10 of Apple shares. And if your first deposit is 1,000 Sing dollars and above and you complete 5 buy trades, you can get additional US $30 of Apple shares and another free share. So check out the link for the latest promo, and thanks for signing up, and thanks to Tiger Brokers for sponsoring this video. In this regard, we have to give an A star to OCBC Bank, which instead of introducing a new bank account like DBS or UOB, they are just allowing you to use your existing OCBC account and then designate amounts to be locked up. And yes, such amounts continue to earn interest rates in your OCBC account. So for instance, I have an OCBC 360 account and I can earmark any amount that I want to in multiples of 10, and these amounts cannot be transferred digitally, nor can they be used for things like gyro arrangements, etc. And you can only withdraw them at an OCBC branch. And these amounts continue to earn bonus interest rates of the OCBC bank account they're in. So for OCBC 360, I'm getting 4.65% per annum interest on my savings, and locking up my funds does not affect the interest rates. So I find this mechanism the best amongst all three banks because you don't have to sacrifice your interest rate for some security, and I think more banks should copy OCBC's method of locking up funds, right? Just create a mechanism within existing bank accounts and don't create new bank accounts just for this, especially if their interest rates are going to be lousy. Lastly, I find OCBC's implementation the most consumer friendly because they also allow you to unlock funds at OCBC ATMs and not just at bank branches. Now, bank branches can take you hours to queue up at, so do you really want to subject yourself to that just to unlock your funds? I don't think so. So I find that OCBC's mechanism is really the best amongst all three banks. Now, there are actually some alternatives that you can consider to secure your cash without actually using these accounts. And one way I can think of is actually Singapore savings bonds. Now, when you put money into Singapore savings bond, you're essentially locking them up in a way because withdrawals are only done once a month and there's some lag time between you getting the funds into your account. So if a scammer gets access to your account, he or she will have to sell off your Singapore savings bond and then wait until the start of each month to get the cash, which I think is added enough security to deter most scammers. SSBs these few months are hovering around 3% per annum interest, so they're actually already better than digiVault or UOB LockAway accounts. So I think you can consider that. And as a bonus, they will give you 3% per annum interest for up to 10 years, which no other bank account can guarantee. Another place you can so-called lock up your funds will be in cash management funds. And they are not savings accounts, but personally, I feel that the risk level is so low, I consider them to be cash equivalents in my portfolio. And I'm personally using Weeboo's Money Boo feature, which invests my funds into Fullerton SGD Cash. And to access funds here, you actually need to sell off, which will take a few business days, and then withdraw to a bank account with my name, which means for a hacker to access my funds, they will first have to hack my Weeboo account, make the sale, wait a few days for the cash to come out to my Weeboo account, and then transfer the Weeboo account to another bank account which they also managed to hack, and then transfer it to their account. To me, this is enough security such that I don't have to lock away my funds, especially in accounts that give very lousy interest rates. Now, it doesn't have to be Weeboo, of course. There's Moomoo, there's also Tiger Brokers, and all of them offer cash management funds that you can put your money in, and virtually identical because they use Fullerton SGD Cash. But the promo may differ, so check out my description box for the different promos that you can use to earn even more money when you start your cash management account. Will you be using these new security features? Let us know in the comments below. Also, subscribe to my Telegram group if you're interested in banking promos and updates. And also check out this video where I talk about how I'm handling my savings. There are going to be significant updates to this, so subscribe and I'll see you in that video.